Meanwhile, I'm beginning to see a trend here. It seems that every time these boys go find water to have fun in, I'm stuck cooking. It's no secret that I'm a dirty boy, but did you also know I'm a clean freak? The way I stay this way is with Clean Freak body wipes. These are 11 by 11 individually wrapped body wipes that are 100% all natural, biodegradable, and they're antibacterial, but they don't use any alcohol, so they won't dry out your skin. They come in a variety of different scents for your pleasure, and they also come in unscented for even the most sensitive skin. Get yourself some Clean Freak body wipes. Clean yourself up, you dirty animal.
I'll go across just so you can see what it looks like.
I mean, it didn't come up to the door.
The water's coming down onto the bridge. That's very concerning.
Yeah.
Boy, you can feel that water. I can feel it move me.
Hey, we're gonna go around.
Go around?
Yeah. I don't want to do it.
All right, I'll meet you up the road.
We'll see you over there.
Turn around, don't drown, boys and girls.
Yes, sir. Words of wisdom from Sir William. I already fell in one river.
PTSD is real. We were pushing our way right on through Oklahoma. It is quite windy today, and it looks like they're calling for some storms later on. So we're trying to make our way through Oklahoma and get out of here before the storms come, because I can tell you from experience, and as you can see here, these roads get absolutely disgusting whenever it rains. As you've already seen, it's rained quite a bit in this area of Oklahoma, and the roads are already starting to get pretty nasty. It wasn't too long after meeting back up with Zach that we ran into another washed out road where water was covering the entire area. That wasn't a small water crossing, y'all. I'm pretty concerned about how this is gonna go for him. There ain't no way I'd take my my car through this. It's most certainly gonna be up to his door, 100%. Now, why this water crossing never made it onto the donut videos is beyond me, because I think this is probably the sketchiest water crossing that we took the Subaru through, to include that one in Arkansas that we did. We were trying to stay ahead of the storms, and we were in quite a big hurry. As you can see here, the director telling us to let's go, so maybe it just kind of slipped through the cracks. I said midway up the door, and I was right. Midway up the door. Take a look at these skies. Take a look at that radar. Yikes. It wasn't too far up the trail that we came across yet another washed out road, and this one looks far too sketchy to try to ford. That water crossing is an absolute no-go. I didn't catch it on video, but Zach tried to kind of ease up into the water crossing, and it gets to a point where it's almost like it just has totally washed away there right in the center. It was halfway up his wheel, almost all the way up his wheel, actually, on those 37s that he's got. So we're gonna turn around, not drown. Also, to make matters even more difficult, there is a pretty bad thunderstorm right above us right now that's coming in pretty quickly, as well as the fact that we are in a complete flood zone and under a flood warning. So we are abandoning this little portion of trail, if you will. Well, this would be that rain that we didn't want. It's here.
Storm has found us, so we're trying to find the quickest way around. You just hope that it doesn't get worse.
Stay back for a second, Justin. I'm driving through like 2 feet deep of water.
It appears this road is completely flooded out. You can see Zach up there in that other corner. It's pretty damn deep.
Either his wake just got bigger in front of him or it got a lot deeper.
I don't even know if I'm gonna make it across this right now.
Holy crap, it got a lot deeper.
What's that?
Y'all head north or back south?
Heading that way.
You gotta run it to a little bridge back here by my house. It may or may not be underwater when you get there.
Okay.
What do you think?
And a snorkel alert,
Yeah.
you're gonna need it.
All right. That's great.
It's not, I don't know, it didn't feel very deep to me, but it's just long. It's really, really long.
Hey, let William know he has permission to push me through if I get stuck.
You copy that?
Yeah, I copy.
Oh, hell no.
What?
It's already bogging.
The only real way around this is we have to go way back.
William, what's going on?
He can't carry up enough speed. And even if I drag him, it's just gonna flood him. Right, so there's a road that I see on the map. It's another dirt road. Looks like if we go down south a little bit, it looks like it cuts back around and gets us to the other side of this. My hope is that it kind of goes up a little bit further, or goes up in elevation. So you guys follow me, I guess.
I have no copy over on Bill or Justin, just an FYI, but I can't relay a message to them.
10-4, I've got him. We're gonna go scout this other route real fast and see if we can't get them through it.
Are you going north or are you going south?
Back east and then south. All right, so that is too deep for Justin to go through there. It looks like there's another road here on the map. We're gonna go back down, try it out, and I'm hoping that it kind of puts us upper in elevation, higher in elevation rather, and then we can kind of come back around where that road is. So that's what I'm gonna go look for now. These roads are getting worse and worse by the second. That is no joke. All right, well, the road that I thought was there on the map, or that showed on the map, is not there at all. So
Moving south, William, if you can copy it, we're moving south on the way.
yeah, the road is not there. We're going all the way back to the highway. Well, we made it back out onto the main highway here. Zach went ahead and crossed over that big water crossing. A local came up and told them that they needed to get to a bridge and they needed to get there fast before it was underwater. So they went ahead and went past that bridge. Where they're at now, because we had to backtrack so far, where they're at now, they actually can't get back to where we are. So we're gonna catch up with them. We're gonna circle around. That's gonna be quite some time here on the highway, but we're gonna circle back around and then meet them in this little city that's kind of on the other side of this creek and water area that we're in here. Interestingly enough, whenever I did the Trans-American Trail in 2016, which again, this isn't the exact Trans-American Trail, but it does use large portions of it, and this is one of those portions, I believe. When I did the Trans-American Trail, I ran into storms in this same exact area, and I actually ended up having to stay at a hotel in Ponca City in order to wait for those storms to go through. So it's kind of crazy that here I am almost 10 years later doing the same trail and running into the same issues that I ran into back then. Did you wash all the shit out of the wheel bearing and make it any better?
No.
Yeah, mine's not either.
Yeah, just howling down the highway.
Oh, hey, bud. That's not supposed to be there.
It's from here.
Damn.
Justin has the world record for most water crossings with a Subaru SVX.
He's the #1 water crosser for Subaru.
I'm pretty sure we can call Guinness about this. Like,
Yeah,
we should
probably
probably hit them up.
Yeah. Silver lining in the situation is the fact that we are here at the hotel in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Crazy how full circle this is, because 10 years ago I was in the same spot for the same reason.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's me, I'm just saying it's this area.
Yeah, something always happens, it seems.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, I smell a pool table and some ice cold brewskis in my future.
Well, we had quite the adventure.
So did we.
The one that you guys turned around at, that was the longest one by far,
Yeah.
but we drove through probably 100 of those.
Wow.
Well, once we turned around,
Everything
all the
we
road
did
that we had just went on
was higher.
had turned into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
big. So anyways, if you're gonna do this trail, be sure to bring your swimming trunks and your floaties
In a boat.
and maybe a boat.
Yeah.
And I got news for these boys. Tomorrow is when it gets real tricky, because all the roads west of here are just flat clay, and it's been raining all day, so it's gonna be fun.
I'm just hoping we don't lose our vehicles tonight. Our rigs.
Rigs.
Our rigs.
These are rigs.
Yeah.
These are rigs.
I hope we don't lose them to a tornado.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be safe inside of a hotel as we watch our cars fly away.
I actually don't think we will be safe in
I
that.
don't know if it would be that safe.
Based on the fact that there was plywood out front being put on.
This is what is known as a facade. After making it through the storm and getting some good rest at yet another hotel, we woke up early in the morning and we hit the trail again, wishing for clear weather and good road conditions as we go through Oklahoma. We have found the Oklahoma mud this morning. 100%. I told these guys yesterday that since it rained all day yesterday, the roads past Ponca City that we had to go through were going to be filled with mud. And, well, here we are. The last time I was tasked with making it through this nasty Oklahoma mud, I was on the wrong tires altogether. But this time, I'm on these Firestone Destination MTs, and they make quick work of the slimy stuff. And I tell you, this mud is just slicker than snot, man. And it gets stuck to everything. I hate mud in general, but this mud is some of the absolute worst for sure. I don't think we're gonna be able to make that. We're about to do the jump test. See if
I think I could definitely do it.
oh shit. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. The whole earth is falling through.
This is like a roaring river at some point.
Yeah. Dear editor, slow-mo.
This is actually a profile picture.
Nice! So I told these guys that we were real close, might as well stop by the salt flats of Oklahoma. Bet you didn't know that Oklahoma had salt flats. The Great Salt Lake of Oklahoma is actually located along this trail, by about 15 miles off the trail, I guess. But it's a really cool little spot. I've seen some absolutely stunning sunrises and sunsets here, and I spent the night here a couple times. One of the times was whenever I did the Oklahoma Adventure Trail. I invite you to go take a look at that. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But yeah, here we are, Salt Flats. Hey Nat, what do you think about the Salt Flats, buddy? What do you think about the Salt Flats, buddy? Hey, what do you think about the Salt Flats? Wow, salty. So we were on the side of the road, and we're gonna have to jack the Subaru up to see what's going on. Our suspicion is is the wheel bearing. And the wheel bearing on that is pressed onto the knuckle, which makes it slightly inconvenient in the middle of Buffalo, Oklahoma. This is the big city of Buffalo, Oklahoma here.
Pull outwards.
He doesn't know to do
Well, it
that.
won't come out.
That's good.
Yeah, the whole rotor's moving.
You say the whole rotor's moving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's everything on this side of the knuckles shaking. The wheel is moving, and when he shakes the wheel forward and backwards, I see the axle moving, which means the bearing is moving.
Ma'am, do you happen to have a Subaru SVX by chance?
Looks like the wheel bearing is giving out. Probably not gonna handle much more of this. Oh boy.
We got to figure that out. Not only do we have to figure out a way to unpress the old bearing and press on the new bearing, but we also have to figure out how to get a new bearing for a 1996 Subaru SVX. By the way, to make matters worse, we are in Buffalo, Oklahoma. To give you an idea about Buffalo, Oklahoma, Buffalo, Oklahoma has, wait for it, 1,015 people. A little bit of a bigger city than what I thought it was. But still, 1,000 people. Chances of us finding a Subaru SVX bearing in a town with 1,000 people, pretty slim. So Zach and Wiley are gonna run off and try to get the wheel bearing for Justin's car from Oklahoma City, which is 3 hours away from where we're at. We are in Beaver, Oklahoma, which I don't really know what goes on here in Beaver, Oklahoma, but that's where I'm at. About to pull in here into what says to be Beaver Dunes. So this will be the second sand dunes that I've seen in Beaver, Oklahoma. So that'll be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's the current situation here. We are pulling up to Beaver Dunes in Beaver, Oklahoma, and gonna try to find camp for the night while Zach and Wiley go try to find a bearing for the Subaru. Got these boys a little Flying Dutchman and patty melts working this afternoon. Got us a nice little camp at a campground. Not terrible. We are in a good spot for the car. I'm hoping that we can get it all jam up and jelly tight, as they would say, tomorrow. I had planned on going into town and recruiting some local good old boys with some sort of a press situation at perhaps the local drinking and pool hall. Unfortunately, the great town of Beaver, Oklahoma does not appear to have such a joint. So we're gonna try the auto parts store tomorrow. Well, boys, I don't know if you remember, we got the peanut butter pie from the Ork General Store in Arkansas. Woohoo! Yeah, and luckily, we got this shit all to ourselves because Zach and Wiley have made a special trip to Oklahoma City. So we ain't gonna share it with nobody.
Thanks to those guys for helping me out. And I get more pie.
We'll just tell them that the pie went bad because it was in Zach's fridge that was off. We woke up early the next morning and then headed into town to see if we couldn't grab a bite to eat and also recruit some help with Justin's bearing press situation. Good news is Randy over here at the Napa in Beaver, Oklahoma is the man. He hooked us up with a spot down about a quarter mile down the road that's going to be able to help us out. And he hooked us up with some farm fresh eggs. I'm pretty excited about Justin being able to get his car fixed, but I'm definitely more excited about these eggs.
It's a rig.
Looks like we got some progress made over there, boys. She's a little wallered out, bud.
A little bit.
We like to call that 35 and ready to settle down. We spent pretty much all day getting Justin's car fixed, but we were finally able to get back out on the road, and we had some major time to make up. We drove well on into the night, and then we noticed there were some storms brewing. We are currently in the midst of another pretty strong storm cell. This is not the area that you want to play with the storms, especially when you get all kinds of warnings and different things like that coming up. Right now, there seems to be a pretty big cell that's just to the north of us and just to the south of us, one just kind of started up out of nowhere, and now it is building and it has become directly into our path here. I think that if we just stay on some paved roads and hurry up and get through the storm before it develops any stronger, or gets any stronger rather, then we'd be better off. So I've communicated that to Zach, and we are in agreement that we're gonna head west up here on this next intersecting road, get to the next paved road, head north, and then find the next paved road after that to head straight west and stay on paved roads until we clear the storm.
And on left is the best way to get down to the 56 to the 412.
Yes, the number 130 road is going to be the way to go.
I got it right now.
All right, so as you can tell, the storm has changed a good bit on the radar here. It's now developed this fish hook. The fish hook is never a good thing on the radar. Living in Texas, I learned a good bit about these storms and kind of what to look out for, the radar signatures and different things like that. And the fish hook is not what you want. So we're actually not gonna head north, we're gonna head south on the paved road and then try to outrun this thing, or at least get to the weaker point of it. At this rate, we are most certainly going to run into this storm, and we're gonna run into a pretty strong section of the storm. But I've advised everybody here that, in my opinion, this is going to be the best way to go about it. If we were to abort and head east, the storm is only building up in intensity, and we may find ourselves in a worse situation if we do that. If we head down this road and go kind of straight towards the storm, then we've got a better chance of going through it quickly and getting onto the backside of it, where I think we will be in the clear. Also, we're going to be on the paved road here. I think that this is the best option for what we're presented right now. And ultimately, that's the reason that these guys and Donut brought me on board, is because I've got experience dealing with these types of situations and making decisions in these types of situations. If we keep going at this pace, we should be able to just skirt right on the outskirts of this thing.
Yeah, agreed. I think we're making the right move. Nice job, William. This is a team effort to not end our trip in a body bag. Well, that was insane.
Dude, I just looked at Tornado HQ. We just drove through it.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, we just drove
The deepest red.
literally through the
we just
center.
rolled through.
Yeah.
Just passed over into Colorado, and it's late. It is 1 o'clock in the morning Colorado time, and about 2 o'clock in the morning Oklahoma time. So we skipped over a time zone here in our travels. We are on the pavement because we were averaging somewhere around the 25 to 30 mile an hour range on the dirt road, and we're trying to get to Trinidad, which is where they actually already had a hotel reserved and booked for tonight, because that was the original plan prior to Justin breaking down. This is actually the last planned hotel for the trip, which I'll take it. You know, I didn't know that there was going to be any hotels on this trip. These late nights, though, I am not a fan of these late nights whatsoever, and would highly advise against it. Not only do you kind of really take away from the experience whenever you rush the way that they're rushing across on this trail. They're trying to get it done somewhere around, I think it's like 14 or 15 days, which just quite frankly ain't gonna happen. It's a long trail. It's 5,000 miles across the U.S. and it's a long trail, and it's monotonous because it's a lot of technical stuff. Not necessarily technical as far as, you know, like rock crawling or anything like that, but dirt roads, bumpy dirt roads, and you know, it's got a lot to it. I highly recommend anybody and everybody that takes this trip or any of these backcountry discovery routes or any of these adventure routes or anything like that. Take your time, man. Enjoy it. Stop and see the things along the way. You're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't. If you rush through it the way that we're rushing through it, it's just not fun. So it's not safe. These long nights like this, they're just not, it's not safe to drive well on into the night like this. But at any rate, we are coming into Trinidad, Colorado. Should be there within the next probably 30 or 45 minutes, where we have a nice hotel waiting on us, and then we can get a good night's rest before we're up first thing in the morning to do it all over again. Made it. Your boy's tired. Catch you on the manana. And after just a few hours of sleep, it was back on the trail again. It was in Trinidad, Colorado that we got our first real glimpse of the Rockies. I was pretty happy about this because Colorado is one of my favorite states, and I've been spending the summers in Colorado now for the past 5 years. I just cannot get enough of the beautiful landscapes in Colorado. After all, there's everything to offer except for ocean in Colorado. You got deserts, you got mountains, you got grasslands. It's got everything you want and need right here in one state. All right, well, success at finding camp, and I must tell you, tonight's camp, not gonna suck at all. Tomorrow's hatch view, definitely not gonna suck. And tonight's dinner, also not gonna suck. I got jambalaya planned for the boys.
This is a pretty daunting spot when you get to the Rockies and you look out and you're like, holy we gotta go over all that.
So yes, it's quite daunting, especially in a Subaru SVX.
Can I have some more?
We've been fed Sir William's handsome stew for the night. I think that's it for day 14. Good night, Justin.
Good morning, what's happening? Today we were waking up outside of an area called 𝐕𝐷𝐷, Colorado, I believe. I don't know, it's somewhere here in Colorado. And as you can tell, the views are absolutely stunning. Everybody's getting their stuff packed up. We're getting ready to hit the trail again. And I think that we should be hitting the San Juan Mountains either today or tomorrow. And that is what I'm most excited about. One thing about hanging out and shooting a big production like this is it's a lot of staging that's involved. I'm not used to this. I usually just grab the phone and look at it and talk. These guys came with their own cameraman and director. Well, new developments. As we were getting ready to go this morning, we have discovered yet another problem on the Subaru. I guess now the harmonic balancer or something of the sorts is not jiving correctly the way that it's supposed to. After taking a look at all of our options, we made the decision to go ahead and press on down the trail in hopes of finding a harmonic balancer on the way to our next destination. And if anything were to happen, then we could just put the new harmonic balancer on the trail. So it looks like these dudes are finally starting to pick up what I'm putting down as far as the just kind of floating around like a leaf like I do. So Zach this morning said, we're just gonna drive and end up where we end up rather than trying to pre-plan a place to stop, which is kind of how I roll, because you can make a plan all you want to and it doesn't always work out, you know what I mean? The other thing is they're slightly slowing down. I've noticed they're slightly slowing down, which is good too, because anytime you're getting fast, you start to miss things. Slow is good sometimes, you know? Person there wasn't going slow at all. It almost ran us clear off the road. You get too fast and you a lot of times find that you end up stepping over dimes to pick up nickels, and that's not what you want. So you start missing shit, breaking shit, losing shit, leaving shit, then you got to go back and get it, and you find that you didn't save any time at all. These guys have to get out and go get in the snow. Look at them. Hey, you can't influence from down there. Not too shabby. That's going to be the hatch view in the morning, so that's pretty dope. Well, we have found camp again. That well, this one is yet another one that's not going to suck. Got a nice little flat area up here. It is a little close to the road for the lichen, but it'll do.
Which, joke's on you, Stevie Wonder is neither of those things.
He's a farce.
Dude, I saw a video with him. Yep. He complimented Shaq on his suit.
No way.
He goes, I like your suit, Shaq. He goes, how the fuck would you know if you like my suit?
Got a little bolognese for the boys at camp.
You whoop!
It's pretty good.
What do you think, Justin?
Fucking delicious, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll get this guy to hit us with a howl later on. Good morning, what's happening? We are just outside of Sargent's, Colorado. We came in last night, got some gas, found this really badass campsite, and today we're gonna make our way to Black Bear Pass. I'm pretty excited to say the least because I've done Black Bear Pass quite a few times, and Black Bear Pass actually isn't the, most craziest trail like everybody makes it out to be. It's actually like a 2-hour long pass over the mountain with about a 30-second pucker factor on it. Here's some video of me doing Black Bear Pass last year, and this is that pucker factor that I'm talking about. Like I said, for the most part, this trail is pretty straightforward and easy. There is some really steep shelf roads that kind of freak people out, but this one little area right here tends to grab a lot of 4Runners and FJs, and this is the reason why. It's the last little fall off that if you slam your brakes whenever you go down it, all the weight transfers and then you fly. Don't slam your brakes. So it's not incredibly terrible. However, that's in a 4Runner that's equipped to do stuff like that. That's not in a 1996 Subaru SVX. To say that I'm excited to see this is an absolute understatement. The other thing that's quite funny is the fact that the director of the video, Phil here, is advising us of the time crunch that we're on. We got 7 days to make it to the Oregon coast, and that means that we got to average 240 miles a day. And we are coming up on some of the most technical trail that we've seen yet on this trip, and I don't think he quite understands how that's going to work out time-wise. But hey, it ain't my goal, it's their goal. All I'm here to do is have fun and be along for the ride, you know what I mean? So let's roll. It wasn't far into the San Juans that we got before we found the first struggles for the SVX.
Well, that's nerve-wracking. The one thing the car needs to do is pull itself up the hill. So if it can't do that, then what are we gonna do?
So we just got word from somebody that passed by us on the trail that Black Bear is actually closed. It is gonna kind of suck because that was the highlight of the trip for me, was to see this Subaru go down Black Bear Pass. What's happening?
It got a misfire and then
You got like no power down there?
yeah. Start the misfire again from sitting on the hill. I don't know if it's flooding the motor or something, but whenever I sit on the incline, I start to lose power over time, or the transmission's getting hot and it's not liking the slow climb. It wants me to climb a little faster. So when I'm behind this guy with his giant tires, his 4Low is very, very crawl kind of geared. It's just bogging me down.
We carried on up the trail a little bit ahead of Justin and then put Justin in front of Zach so that way he could carry his own pace, and we got a good vantage point watching him rally up the mountain here. Nice job. Honestly, it was no surprise that Black Bear Pass was closed because as you can see here up on Engineer Pass, the snow, even in June, was still quite thick.
Oh boy.
That's the top. I doubt believe. Pretty amazing. Just under 13,000 feet.
It's beautiful.
Skid plate skier. We are at the summit of Engineer Pass, 12,800 feet. And just like with any and all things, what goes up must come down. Easy. Easy. Real easy. That way. Easy. Go back. All right. Hang tight. Yeah.
It's just taking hit after hit after hit, and it keeps going.
Serious work.
We've survived 3,000 miles of not easy situations, and I think sometimes it starts to pile up a little bit.
And here I thought climbing that peak was it.
I'm feeling like Justin is a little bit on his limit right now with the abuse that he, as a human, can take inside of that car. Slow. I think you might have a flat tire.
There's actually a puncture in the sidewall right here.
Watching these modded Jeeps with their spotters on the same exact trail that we're taking a Subaru down just made me laugh. For those that know, this is Mineral Creek. This is not a simple and easy trail by any means. These boys are going to be real upset whenever they see this Subaru going down the same thing that they're bringing these big-ass modded Jeeps up. Black Bear is closed, but Justin, even if it was open, has said that he's not going to want to do it anyway. And to be honest with you, I half-ass understand just because he's beating the hell out of this thing on Mineral Creek here, so it's taking a beating. The car's holding air, and we're making our way on down here at Mineral Creek. We've got a couple more obstacles to go, and we should be off this thing. But we haven't quite told Justin the severity of all the obstacles, and it's starting to get to him a little bit. To be honest with you, though, I'm impressed with this Subaru. I really am. put it there. In reality, I'd probably go to the right. It's gonna be his best option. Is just hug up onto the wall. But it ain't my circus. After diligently working on it all day, we finally made it up Engineer Pass and down Mineral Creek to the trailhead next to the road, so that way we could air up and go grab something to eat. Congrats, you took something that should have never belonged on that pass down the pass successfully.
I feel amazing.
Well, actually up and down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh my God.
Good job.
Don't let me do that again.
Well, we made it. Made it down Engineer Pass with something that should have never took it. Hey Justin, imagine, if you will, spending 30 to 40 grand on a side-by-side just to go up the same trails that we just took a $3,000 SVX up.
Yeah, right? Could be me. Could be me.
All right, well, you guys can't see it, but we made it to yet another beautiful camp spot. I'm not real sure if they have any particular plans on trails or different things that they're trying to do in Moab. I just know that we're going to Moab next. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what kind of trails and all we get to take that Subaru through. It's been a long day. We're all a little bit tired, so catch y'all in the manana. Good morning, what's happening? Waking up this morning, kind of getting our shit together, and then we are going to hopefully head down this road, connect back to Rim Rocker, go over to Rim Rocker and into Moab that way. Unfortunately, because of all the passes being closed, we were unable to take Ophir Pass, unable to take Imogene Pass, and unable to take Black Bear Pass, so there was no way to get into Telluride, which would have then kind of connected us to the normal route that we had planned into Moab, kind of the southern way. So I guess that would be the southern way. I don't know, I'm not a gynecologist, so I'm not real good at maps, but at any rate, we're gonna take the northern way, well, more northern than what we were gonna take, and head into Moab still on the Rim Rocker Trail. I'm hoping that everything's opened up, because last year whenever I went down this trail, unfortunately we had to get detoured because of wildfires. So I don't think that there's any wildfires, fingers crossed there. We're gonna open up a couple different apps, a couple different resources, and try to make sure. But other than that, it should be a pretty smooth sailing trip into Moab on mostly finely graded Forest Service roads. That's the current situation. Stop and have lunch, and what better place to stop and have lunch than
Whatever this place is.
yeah, exactly, a nice little overlook of the canyon. It's crazy how whenever you look up here you can see where it clearly at one point in time there was water that went up to both edges, and then way off into the distance there you get a nice little mountain. Not a bad lunch spot. Guiding Justin through with the walkie-talkie here. You know, normally whenever I go up this trail, I just don't really think anything of the terrain that I'm driving on or anything like that. Whenever you're you know, leading a Subaru SVX with about 5 inches of clearance. You're gonna have to keep some momentum carrying it up this hill. Stay to the left. There's a rock in the center, so watch out for it. So we are coming up on the end of the Rimrocker Trail. We got about 40 miles or so till we get onto the main highway. Justin is actually running pretty low in gas on the Subaru. We had a little situation earlier that he may have been boiling some of it out, or it may have evaporated and got out. I'm not real sure. But anyway, he's getting significantly less miles to a full tank than he normally would. Also, it's getting a little bit technical right here. It's still 47 miles to get to the next gas station, which is going to be putting him extremely close. And ultimately, he's been driving this Subaru with about 5 inches, 6 inches of clearance. It's a manual transmission. He's been working it all day. We started the trail this morning at 8:30. It's right around 5:30. It is 5:30 right now. So I let him know that this is the last opportunity before, you know, this last 2-hour stretch or so, where they can just we can go down the highway and then go up to Moab on the highway without being on this technical stuff, or we can continue on the technical stuff. And Justin has made the decision that he wants to go into Moab on the highway and just avoid going through this technical stuff. In the preservation of the trail and plotting the new trail, Zach and Wiley are actually going to continue on the Rimrocker Trail here, finish it all the way to the end. It's about 2 hours left in that. And I am the support vehicle for Justin, so I'm going to stick with Justin. We're going to go the highway into Moab. It's going to take roughly about an hour. That's the current situation. I mean, did you even really go to Moab if you didn't stop by the Moab Diner, or even better, the world-famous Woody's Tavern? After a quick bite to eat and a few games of pool, it was time to go find camp. I've spent a lot of time in Moab, and I know the perfect place for us to camp tonight. This was camp, boys.
Now we have to find another one.
So I think right now is a good time to bring up the constant barrage of attacks that are placed daily on our public lands. This is quite possibly one of the better campsites out in this area. And they close it down for misuse. Bottom line is all of this stuff, and with social media and everything like that, is under so much scrutiny nowadays that there's no better time than now to pay very close attention to how you treat public lands and making sure that you do it right. This is a prime example. Unfortunately, we weren't able to camp at the spot that I had picked out for, so we had to settle for a spot inside of a campground, which was less than ideal. But not all was lost, because I was finally able to get a coyote call out of Wiley.
Stupid, man. Is there any research on this trail at all? Load some shit up.
I have
and
no
do
service.
some research. We have Starlink. Let's do some research before we barrel on in here and can't come out.